What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's prediction video. For this one, we look forward to a massive clash taking place in Italy's Serie A, the Milan Derby, which takes place this Sunday on the 22nd of September, that sees Inter Milan host AC Milan. We start off our team analysis with the home side here being Inter Milan. The last 5 fixtures for the Nerrazzuri have ended in 2 wins and 3 draws. Their last match was a 0-0 draw away at Manchester City in the UEFA Champions League earlier this week. In these last 5 fixtures, Inter have scored 9 goals and conceded 3. So we can see the Nerazzurri are already getting goals, but they're not as solid at the back as we're used to seeing from them. The first player I'd like to talk about for Inter has got to be French attacker Marcus Thuram. In 5 appearances for the Nerazzurri, Thuram has scored 4 goals and managed to contribute 2 assists. I look at Marcus Thuram and I see a player who loves running with the ball, loves being more proactive in the build-up, and in the whole process of the team getting a goal. Thuram can score with either foot, he can score with his head, he links up very well with everybody. In Marcus Thuram, I think Inter have a forward player who can play both as a centre forward and as a support striker. Next up, I want to talk about young Italian midfielder David Fratesi. In 5 appearances for Inter Milan, Fratesi already has 1 assist to his name. When I look at Fratesi, I see a young midfielder who I think is going to get a lot more opportunities to play this season. We're going to see Simone Inzaghi rotating his squad a little bit more this season, and I think that's going to give Fratesi the opportunity to be able to put his best characteristics on display. He's a player who can pass, who can dribble with the ball, he's got a lot of energy, so he can apply pressure, and you'll see him playing a box-to-box role a lot of the time as well. But what I really like about Fratesi is he's the kind of midfielder who's not afraid to get stuck in and make those physical challenges to win the ball back for his team. Finally, I want to talk about Argentine attacker Lautaro Martinez. In 4 appearances for Inter Milan this season, Lautaro Martinez has yet to score or assist, but I think in Martinez we have a player who is just going through his annual goal drought right now. When Martinez starts scoring goals, he's probably not going to stop, and he's a very, very well established goal scorer. Lautaro as well is the kind of goal scorer who can score with either foot, he can score with his head, he's looking to create chances for others. But over the last few seasons with Lautaro as well, we've seen him grow from being an out-and-out number 9 to becoming more of a support striker, ready to play with whoever it is who's pairing him up front or anybody playing behind him as well. Next up, we look at the away team here being AC Milan. The last 5 fixtures for Milan have ended in 1 win, 2 draws and 2 losses. Their last match was a 3-1 loss at home against Liverpool in the Champions League earlier this week. In these last 5 fixtures, AC Milan have scored 10 goals, but they've conceded 9 goals, which means they're scoring goals, but they're conceding just as many. The first player I'd like to talk about for AC Milan has got to be the French goalkeeper Mike Maignan. In 5 appearances, Maignan has done a fair bit of work in between the sticks for Milan, but I think he really let himself go in that match against Liverpool. Mike Maignan is a very flexible, very alert, very quick-minded goalkeeper. He's got great reflexes, but what I really like about Mike Maignan is you often see him trying to rally his defense and trying to motivate everybody to remain a unit and continue fighting on. In Mike Maignan, I see a goalkeeper who has great leadership capabilities for the future. Next up, I want to talk about US winger Christian Pulisic. In 5 appearances for AC Milan, Pulisic has scored 3 goals and contributed 2 assists to his teammates. When I look at Pulisic, I'm used to seeing a player who runs with the ball, yes, but I'm not used to seeing a player who's playing with this much confidence and swagger. Right now we're looking at Pulisic and we're seeing a player who is willing to dribble with the ball, but not just out wide on the wings. He's willing to dribble down the spine of a team, tearing through the heart of their defense. We're seeing a player who's ready to play the final ball to his teammates, but more importantly, we're seeing a player who's ready to take shots and ready to score goals. Next up, I want to talk about Portuguese winger Rafael Leao. In 5 appearances for AC Milan, Rafael Leao scored 1 goal and contributed 3 assists. Rafael Leao is a very quick, very tricky player. He's the kind of player who likes to dummy and feint as if he's going out and then cut in, just eliminating that wingback from the game entirely and then running on towards the goalpost and taking a shot. Rafael Leao is the kind of player where if he's given the opportunity, he will score some fantastic solo goals with these amazing runs where he just runs through the defense and just leaves them at sixes and sevens. Okay, on to the head-to-head in the S3M2 Verdict. Now, the last five Milan derbies have actually ended in five wins for Inter, so this one is stacked heavily in favor of the Nerazzurri. When we look at the amount of goals scored in those fixtures, Inter Milan have scored 11 goals, while AC Milan have scored just 2. So there as well, it's stacked heavily against the Rossoneri. When we look at the league table right now, Inter Milan are third with 8 points, while AC Milan are 10th with 5 points. While it does seem like just 3 points separating the two teams, I think there's a complete shift in the mentality between them right now as well. Inter are already looking to apply pressure to the teams above them, being Napoli and Udinese, ready to capitalize on any slip-ups from those teams. AC Milan, however, are still looking like they're finding themselves languishing mid-table once again. I think when we talk about standout injuries and absentees for Inter, the only player who they're really going to miss is Federico Di Marco at left back. But I think Carlos Augusto can come into the team and fill that role quite well anyway. As a result, I'm expecting to see Simone Inzaghi line his team up in their standard 3-5-2 formation, looking to keep the ball centrally and then just allow the wingbacks to sneak behind enemy lines before releasing them into all of that space around the wings and the corner flag, where they can just cut the ball back and catch the defense completely off guard. Inter are gonna look to play with the ball, keep it down the spine where they have so many bodies there that they can just outnumber the opposition and then just release somebody when the opposition are not aware. For AC Milan, I think the standout absentee here for me is the right back Florenzi, but AC Milan here as well do have a very good replacement in Emerson Royal. If Emerson Royal can strike up the chemistry with the winger in front of him, whether it's Musa or Pulisic, then I think we could see AC Milan being a very good counter-attacking team. They already have so much success out wide on that left wing with Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao, and if they can duplicate it on the right wing, I think there'll be very few teams that can handle AC Milan. Regardless, I think right now Fonseca is still going to set his team up in that 4-2-3-1 formation with that double pivot in the center, where one of those midfielders can go forward to support the attack, while the other one just steps back and provides cover for the center backs. We're going to see AC Milan looking to spread the ball out wide and looking to take advantage of their pacey wingers like Pulisic, like Loftus-Cheek, Musa, and of course Rafael Leao. They're going to look to be playing quickly on the counter, just like Inter. So I'm expecting to see a very frantic match between these two teams with the ball moving up and down very quickly in a matter of seconds actually. I think it's going to be high octane stuff. Both teams are going to need massive amounts of energy for this one, and I think it does kind of balance out that both teams played in the Champions League earlier this week. Inter could make an argument that AC Milan have had an extra day of rest, but I don't think that counts for too much. Speaking of Inter, I know the Nerazzurri will also be focusing on Udinese next week. This will provide them with a perfect opportunity to snatch top spot in the Serie A once again. When I look at these two teams, however, I think AC Milan have more players who will play centrally but play defensively. And when I look at Inter Milan, they have more players who are willing to go forward, attack those spaces in the attacking third and get goals. Mkhitaryan, Calhanoglu and Barella can all come through from the spine and the central areas of the pitch to pick up the ball and score goals. But when I look at AC Milan, I'm not seeing that same kind of energy from players like Reinders or Loftus-Cheek. I think what AC Milan really need here is a midfield player who can just grab the game by the scruff of the neck and just run at the opposition defense. But I'm not seeing that kind of player. As a result, I think I must side heavily here with Inter Milan. I think this is a team that has goals all round. The wingbacks can score, the midfielders can score, the strikers are already on very good form. Marcus Thuram with 4 goals and then 2 assists means 6 contributions in 5 games. That's more than a goal contribution every game. And there's not a single player at AC Milan who can boast about having a similar record. Milan do have centre forwards like Tammy Abraham and Alvaro Morata who can get them goals, but those centre forwards have not yet found their feet at the San Siro. Speaking of the San Siro, despite the fact that these two teams share the stadium, Inter have done a far better job of making the San Siro feel like their home ground in these last few fixtures, and I think that will weigh very heavily on AC Milan and their supporters. My final prediction for this match is going to be Inter Milan 2, AC Milan 0. I think both teams are going to play a very frantic style of football, looking to get at the opposition as quickly and as often as they possibly can, perhaps snatching an early lead and then just sitting deep and playing a little defensively, allowing the opposition to come forward and then hit them on the counter attack while they look for an equalizer. But I just think right now, Inter Milan just have more players who are more willing to take chances than AC Milan do. I think AC Milan do need a win. This could be that win that bolsters their confidence, but I just don't see it happening for the Rossoneri in this one. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.